Hi everybody, it's Yazzie here, and I do have a message for you today, and I have a channel message as well, but as always, let's start with this first. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't know why I don't start with that more often. I hope you're doing well. Now, we'll go ahead and get into this next thing, but I call in and invite in and ask the gods and goddesses, archangels, guardian angels, deities, entities, spirits, spiritual teams, spiritual guides, ancestors, ascended masters, our higher selves, our inner child, and the universe to be present, and I ask that you all please banish and remove all negativity, negative energies, negative entities, and evil eyes of all kinds, for they are not welcome nor are they invited. And I ask that you please purify and cleanse this space, the tools in which I use, the cards, and myself, so that this message comes through clearly and with clarity for the collective this evening. Please and thank you. Okay. So I did get one channeled message, and it was the other day, but I had to meditate on it a little bit. Although it feels as though it's something I've talked about before, but as I was doing the dishes, of course, it's always when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm outside, or when I'm in the shower that these messages come through. But anyway, the message was, how can you expect to attract when you keep fucking chasing? And I know that sounds a bit harsh, but there's some truth to that. 1, 2, 3 as I say that. Because, and I've talked about this before, there's a difference between when you're pursuing versus when you're chasing. 132 as I say that. When you're pursuing, and I think this is the part I needed to meditate on a little bit, is the difference between the two. So when you're pursuing, you already have the goal in mind. You know what the risks are. You know what you're going to have to do. You know that there's steps. So you're giving yourself a bit more patience and grace in the pursuit of something. And this is something where you have chosen to go after whatever it is. Oh, give me 1 second. I apologize. There was a call coming through, which was really strange. Distractions. Anyway, what was I talking about? Pursuit. 212 as I say that. So pursuing things, it's like you know that you're pursuing this because you've chosen to. 222 as I say that. You're pursuing something with a specific goal, with the steps, with the risks. You know what risks are involved. Whereas 2, 3, 4 as I say that. Whereas when you're chasing something, you're chasing it because you're working in lack. You're working out of an insecurity, a desperation, the fact that, well, I have to do this kind of thing, otherwise, things aren't going to get better, whatever the case may be. But chasing something means that it's not really thought out. Like, it's not really well thought out. You're kind of just jumping into it, and you're just trying to make up for whatever it is that you may not already have at that moment in time. Whereas pursuing means that you're already adding to what you currently, 311, to what you currently have within yourself, or within within whatever you have in life around you, 321 as I say that. So I feel for some reason that came through, because I do think part of it is for me as well, which is why I relate to this as well. But the message 333 is definitely for the collective, where we gotta stop working in an energy of chasing. And I know it's difficult. Believe me, I have had years of trying to get myself 345 out of the mentality of having to chase something, someone, or even just, whatever it is that may be. 354 as I say that. So I get it. It's a transition. And it's one that comes with a lot of back and forth, not just really with the outside world, but more so 411 internally with yourself. 414 as I say that. So I completely understand. You're doing really well though, in the fact that you're now working on pursuing as opposed to chasing. And that's a good thing. Good job. If no one has told you, I am proud of you. Good job. But that message needed to come through. I guess it needed to come up again, because I know I've talked about it before, but it's been a long time. But that is the channeled message. But for the cards, we're going to use both of the tarot decks, the Antique Anatomy and the Traditional Tarot. But we're just going to get a general reading because it's the Harvester full moon today. So 4, 5, 6 as I say that. So we're going to see what's with the energy. Aside from the fact of it being a bit weird, although it's been a bit weird for a while. But full moons are always something different. So, but what does the collective need to know most right now as far as the general message? And it's an Aries, so it's very fiery, very passionate, very let's go kind of thing. Very that kind of energy. Which one do you want me to start with first? Which tarot deck? Which one? Traditional. Okay. I heard a couple different things come through. I was like, which tarot deck? But let's see. Whoop. Well. The first card is the King of Wands, interestingly enough. Oh, I just realized it has a lizard on it. It has lizards. And I apologize. I got really excited because the last few days, if you have been seeing them, you may be seeing lizards. I've been seeing lizards like nonstop outside. And like I've been seeing just symbolism in general of spiders again. I know I've seen them before, but I believe with lizards, it has something to do with adaptability as well as like, change. There were some other things that had to do with it. I'll put it up here. I'll put it up somewhere about what lizards have to do with that. But I've been seeing them a lot, and you may have been seeing them a lot as well. So I apologize. I was excited for a second. But yes, we have the King of Wands as the first card today. What else? What else do we have? What else do we have as far as what the collective needs to know right now? What does the collective need to know? Talk about the King of Wands? What's going on with the King of Wands? All I keep hearing is they're driven. 707 as I say that. They're very driven. So is this someone we've talked about before? Yep, of course it is. Okay. Why are they so driven for? Why are they coming up? They're intrigued. Something about you intrigues them. It piques their interest. You're not like how you used to be, is what I heard. Okay. You've changed a lot, is what I heard. So this, there we go. This could be someone where they have, they've known you for a while, so they've watched you change and grow over time. So you're very different from how you used to be. Not just in your looks, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the way you carry yourself, the way, excuse me, oh my goodness, so many interruptions. The way that you present yourself even is different. But what came out right now was the Chariot after that and the King of Swords. So we haven't heard from the King of Swords in a while either. Is the King of Wands and the King of Swords the same person? No, is what I just heard. So these are two different people. Okay, two very different people. Why is the Chariot between them? They both want you, is what I just heard. Okay. What's going on with the King of Swords? Why is the King of Swords here? They're wanting to say something. So the King of Swords wants to say something. The King of Wands is kind of watching from afar. Beep. That's too many. No. No. That's too many. But why is the King of Swords here? Because, well, they both want you as a collective. But Knight of Wands has flipped out. They're getting tired, is what I just heard. So perhaps they're getting tired of whatever situation they're in. They're tired of waiting, is what I just heard. So they're really adamant about wanting to come forward to you. About what? What specifically? the Hierophant, and the Five of Cups. Also, I'm not showing these cards. How dare I? Death is on the bottom of the deck, by the way, so it could be that they're transforming a lot, the both of them, but they're both right here, just to show you. The King of Wands, the Chariot, and the King of Swords, both of which know what they want. And with the Sphinxes, it's very yin and yang. They're both very much in balance at this point in time. So, but we have the Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Five of Cups. Why are these here? Aside from this one, I already know about this one. Commitment issues have been resolved. 1044 as I say that. So they may have resolved some issues within themselves internally about fears around commitment, or perhaps there have been some commitments within their life that they have been able to finally resolve and take care of at this point in time. But why is the Five of Cups here? They want to talk about what happened with what? The past. So they want to talk to you about 1111 as I say that. They want to talk about why things happened the way that they happened, why things perhaps were put on pause or ended so abruptly without any real explanation that came through it. They still feel guilt about the whole thing. Is it both of them? No. Which one is it then? King of Swords has this guilt. What about the King of Wands? He's on a different end of it. What end? Oh, he's transforming. That's why death is here. Death is for the King of Wands. The Five of Cups, which of course is under the King of Swords, is for him. He feels him? Him or they? Him. Okay. He feels guilty for whatever happened in the past, whereas the King of Wands is going through the transformation as they're supposed to be. And that's why it came out or is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. And I happen to notice that the nine of Wands is underneath the King of Wands. So that makes sense. He's doing the work. And the Hierophant is in the middle underneath the Chariot. So that makes sense that they both have some commitment things that they've resolved. One wants to make a commitment to you. Which one? Not telling. All right. All right, fine. You don't have to tell me. That's all right. I'm sure one of them will come through with it. You've been telling me to use the Antique Anatomy for a while now, so we'll switch over. What else? What else do we need to know? In general or about the situation? They want me to talk about the King of Swords a little bit more because we don't know too much about that one. Why does the King of Swords feel guilty? What's with the guilt? What's the problem? I heard hurt. But why? Why do they feel guilty? What is causing the guilt with the Five of Cups? Whatever happened in the past, what's the guilt? I just keep hearing hurt. Hurt. You want me to switch back? Okay. You told me Antique Anatomy before, but okay. Tell me about, okay. It flipped out. The Hermit came out. Okay. So we have the Hermit. They're working through things alone at this point in time. You're guiding them in some way. You may not know that you are, but you are. And what flipped out right now was the Three of Pentacles. So I just heard you worked with them. So you may have worked with them in like a work setting and perhaps something happened in the work setting where there's perhaps a disagreement of some sort. and perhaps even an argument or a clash, and that's what they feel guilty about, is that maybe they might have gone off on you. Maybe something came out that they didn't really want to come out that way. They didn't really explain it all too well. What else? What's this? We have the Page of Pentacles. They want to make amends somehow. And this is for the King of Swords. This isn't for the King of Wands. I haven't gone into them yet. Not as much, but they see things differently because of you. And it's possibly because you may have the way, this is how they're wording it, the way that you are naturally brings out a different perspective that people did not think about before. And at points in time, this may trigger certain people because they don't understand it, because they're so used to a certain, perhaps a taught way of thinking, of doing things, of going about things, and how they understand and perceive the world, as well as other people around them. So with, with these 3 cards, and with the Page of Pentacles, it's like you help them to see things in a way that they never saw it before, because of how you are, just because of you being you. And they feel that when whatever happened in this setting, it was uncalled for. It was more from an emotional place and not from a place of understanding, but also of comprehension. And it's not to say that this King of Swords isn't intelligent. They absolutely are. It's just that at that moment in time, they couldn't comprehend it. Their understanding and comprehension of how the world worked was very much at a set place, and it was limited at that point in time. But now, as they've been by themselves and been able to take the time to actually have a moment to think, things are different, and they want to make amends in whatever way possible and offer you something that could perhaps mend whatever happened between the two of you. Okay. They want me to talk a little bit about the King of Wands. Yeah, see, 4 of Swords is at the bottom. So the King of Swords is contemplating. They're thinking. They're contemplating how to. Do you want me to use a traditional or antique anatomy for the King of Wands? Antique for the King of Wands. Okay. King of Wands is a whole different energy. Who are you? But what's going on with the King of Wands? We'll get into them a little bit. Clearly, they're transforming. Something's going on with them. Tell me. Ooh, that one just flipped. We have the Knight of Elixirs that flipped out. Oh, let me show you the card. My gosh. I don't think we haven't seen this one very much. It's a very pretty card. I love it. But I love all these cards. Anyway, but the Knight of Elixirs here is what flipped out. Anything else that we need to know about the Knight of Wands while we're going through this? Ooh, that's too many. Actually, wait, hold on, let me count. 5 cards. They're meant for it. Okay. Interesting. So we have the King of Swords. However, they're a different person, but we have for the the King of Wands, we have the Knight of Elixirs, we have the 10 of Rods, we have the Knight of Rods, we have the 7 of Coins. Interestingly, we have the King of Blades, and we have the Knight of Blades. This is a very, very well-rounded person is what I just heard. They're extremely well-rounded. The only thing we're missing is the earth. But the point is, they, aside from the 7 of coins here, but the point is, what's going on with these cards? I need a little more, please, because this is a lot. There's a lot, so I apologize. 2022 as I look up. They want to express everything that has happened, everything that they've gone through, which explains the 10 of rods. 2034 as I say that. So they've been carrying a lot of burdens. They've been working through a lot of things. Again, death being there for the transformation and rebirth part of it. And the 7 of coins, they planted these seeds a long time ago for you. You've known this person a very long time. Very long time. So many years is what I heard. They're smarter than you think. Or more so, they're smarter than they make themselves out to be. So this is someone where perhaps they're quite observant, is what I just heard. They're extremely observant of who you are and how you are. And they want to be able to express their emotions to you, which is why the Knight of Elixirs is here. However, there's a lot of passion between the Knight of Rods, but also the King of Wands. But they know what they want. They can't let you go. They just can't do it. No matter what they do, even if there's another person, if there's other people distracting them, work has been the biggest distraction is what I've heard. However, even in that, it seems like you're everywhere. 2202 as I say that. But of course, since we have the King of Blades and the Knight of Blades, they're very much in their mind, very much in their head about a lot of things. But again, they're extremely intelligent as well. Aside from the King of Swords, the other person. Anything further from the King of Wands? I keep hearing they're sorry. Why are they so sorry for? Terrible decision is what I heard. Terrible decision, just like that. So clearly they made a decision that they're now realizing was not the best decision. Thinking that... Oh, I just popped my neck, sorry. Thinking that whatever decision that they made was going to be best suited for them is what I heard. But unfortunately, they are now figuring out it's draining them. They're so miserable is what I heard. Like they don't feel like them anymore. Like they don't. Whatever situation they're in, whatever people they're around. I'm sorry, that they have been around. I just also heard after that they're not around them anymore. So they've literally cut out whatever it is that was keeping them from you. Is what I heard as well. But they too want to make amends. However, they know what they want. And it seems like between these two, the King of Wands and the King of Swords, it's very much... I just heard... Excuse me. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My throat was like trying to get cut off. Someone doesn't want people to be hearing this, but here we are. Anyway. But between these two, I literally heard it's a battle of wits between these two. They're two very extremely intelligent people, and they know about each other. Maybe not physically face to face, but energetically they know about each other. And it's like in the, what is it? In the astral realm, they're like very like, leave them alone. You're not gonna have them. And it's like, okay, let's see then, kind of deal. Like they're very much against each other on whether or not, you know, who's gonna have you, I guess. Excuse me. Are there any other cards that we need to pull? A few more traditional as an overall, not one or the other, as an overall, and then that should be good. Let's see. Okay. What's the overall potential? We have the High Priestess coming out. Okay, we have the High Priestess. What's the overall outcome? Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. But what's the... Oh, here we go. Justice just flipped over. Which makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of air here. A lot of air. A lot of air, and it's like a really mass amount of air and fire, which is interesting considering they complement each other. What else about the potential outcome? We have the Seven of Cups and we have the Three of Cups. Excuse me. We have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, though. But we'll get into these first. What's going on with the High Priestess, Justice, the Seven of Cups, and the Three of Cups? A lot of water here, too. It's very chaotic. Very. What is going on? Oh, sorry. I'm like trying to hold these the right way. My bad. So you can all see them. Oops. Seven of Swords. Or I'm sorry. Seven of Cups. Here we go. Seven of Swords is right there. Anyway. What's going on with these? I keep hearing, you know, the outcome of it. You know that regardless of whichever way it will, justice will be served. But don't sell yourself short is what I just said. Wow, what I just said, what I just heard, sorry. Either way, a celebration will be had is what I just heard as well. So this is something where it's entirely up to, you know, how it's going to play out. Like maybe not in the 3D sense, but energetically, you know who's more, I guess, in the lead versus the other. You already know. But it really all comes down to whatever you choose. You can choose to walk away from both of them if you want, and choose you if you really want to. But at the end of the day, what really matters is your sense of fulfillment. And that's really what matters at the end of the day. Like, yes, there will be justice regardless of whatever you choose. But what matters is the celebration at the end and what the celebration is for. And more importantly, it should be for you. More than anything else. It really should be for you. Because of everything you've gone through, everything you've had to go through to get to this point. And ultimately, the decision is yours. However, don't deceive yourself. Don't choose something that you don't want, even when it's between these two choices. This would be a situation where energy will tell you. When one or both of these people decide to make themselves known to you in the 3D, listen to your energy. Listen to how it feels. Does it feel very... Do you feel safe? Do you feel like there's a pull, or do you feel like it's repelling? Does it feel dark and heavy, or does it feel light and airy? Energy will always tell you what's meant for you. Don't let the emotions or the ego or this happened in the past, so it's going to happen again. Sometimes that is the case, but there are other times where people do change. But first and foremost, listen to the energy. because the energy will always tell you what is meant for you and what is not meant for you before anything else, before anybody even says anything. That will always tell you. 3003 as I say that. Okay? But that is going to be it for the reading. That was a lot more than I thought it would be. But I hope that this reading gave you a bunch more clarity. And I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for all your support. Thank you for joining me and thank you for watching. And please be safe out there. It is a full moon. Be safe, please. And thank you all again. I love you all so very much. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.